Okay, guys, let's do a countdown from 5, okay? Here we go. 5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Showtime!
Showtime! Hello, good evening. It is I, Sarah, from the Couth Buzzard Books. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining us here on this special virtual fundraising event. I'm really excited because we've really missed having our musicians in the store performing, and we've got two of our favorites here tonight doing a little fundraiser to keep us going. Now, as you know, we have done fundraisers previously to this, but this one, which the URL is right up in the nope, right there. That's the URL to get to the GoFundMe, where we are taking donations for the Couth Buzzard. This is our last push fundraiser. We're getting so close to the June 30th date that everyone keeps talking about, and this is our final push to basically help us survive. We want to thank you so much for all your donations and all your support during this entire pandemic, and we really appreciate you. We are open every day, so if the GoFundMe isn't what you fancy, come on in, have a drink, buy a book, show your support. You can buy one of these t-shirts, actually. So, without further ado, I will throw it over to Mr. Bill Davie. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Sarah. And joining me I can never do this. You are there. Is Ms. Kat Eggleston. Now, Kat, I got to ask you, you are on Vashon Island, correct?
I am on Vashon Island, yeah.
And whereabouts on Vashon Island are you? You look like you're in some kind of
well,
there's some books behind you there, and there's
there's this one thing about my lovely little island is that there's some big internet gaps.
Ooh.
So
I see.
My home is not on a cable, and it's all DSL, and I can't teach from there, and I can't really do a show from there. One of my students lets me use this little outbuilding on his property. He's a computer dude, and he's great, and I get to use this place. So all that stuff
fantastic.
Is not my own, but I get to use this.
Yay!
Nice?
It's very nice.
Yeah,
It's very nice, and I'm
so
grateful that you have access to some place so that you can be with us tonight.
Oh, me too.
So Kat and I are going to be trading songs back and forth, and I think Kat is going to start things out, if I'm not mistaken. So
You are
please,
not.
take it away, Catherine.
Okay. Before I see one more spring, I'll go where the rock and the water sings and the river runs clear. When I was young, that's what I'd say. Just one step, I'll be on my way to go where the river runs clear. Where I'm from, can't see the sky. It was a boom town once, but the price was high. The streams were black and the hills were bare. So I turned my back when I was grown on what was left of my first home to go where the river runs clear. I traveled far from any town, found new routes to settle down, and stayed for one green year. But power kills, money talks. Wells were drilled to split the rocks, and half the people just disappeared. The splintered world was going fast, all for the sake of oil and gas. The water crawled and turned to fire. Call it treasure, call it king. Your oil's not worth a goddamn thing when none of the rivers run Yes, I could be moving on, but no place will be safe for long. The wells are everywhere, and all I love is almost gone, so I can't bring myself to run. I've gotta stay right here. You can turn your back as Eden falls to no tree stands and no bird calls, and all the people live in fear. But the time is right to stand and fight, to work like hell to turn this tide, till all of the rivers run clear.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for kicking things off in such grand fashion.
You're quite welcome.
All right. I am going to jump into the Jello now, if you don't mind. Here we go.
Please do.
Okay. Well, this is my first adventure streaming live to YouTube, so bear with us. But please, pay attention to, nope. Why do I have this? There it is. There's the GoFundMe link. Now, it should be up over in the comments as well. Sarah said that she would be posting the URL in the comments so that you can go directly to the GoFundMe thing. And hopefully, it'll open a new window on your computer so it won't take you away from this. We hope. Okay. In the meantime... Now the sun's staring in through the windows, and he's circling the house as he goes. And he's not trying to make any trouble, he's just doing his job, I suppose. And paying like a 3 a.m. phone call, the doctor say it's all in your head. And paying like a road map of Paris, with Quasimodo hiding under the bed. And it's the same sad story, with the same dead end. And if we don't want things to go down like that, then we'll have to work together again. We'll have to work together. Now the sun's staring in through the windows, and he's circling the house as he goes. And he's not trying to cause a commotion, he's just doing his job, I suppose. And you're waiting to be further disabled by torches and pitchforks and tar, with feathers driven down from Nebraska and chicken shit all over the car. And it's the same sad story with the same bad end. And if we don't want things to go down like that, then we'll have to work together again. We'll have to work together, put our heads together. Staring in through the windows, and he's circling the house as he goes. And he's not trying to hurt anybody, he's just doing his job, I suppose. And you don't mean to sound so pathetic, but there's serious things to discuss, like how hatred has tainted the water, both outside and inside of us. And it's the same sad story with the same sad end. And if we don't want things to go down like that, then we'll have to work together again. Put our hearts together, remember how to work together. Ooh, up, up, up. And it's the same sad story with the same dead end. And if we don't want things to go down like that, then we'll have to work together again. put our hands together. Remember how to work together. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I love that song.
Thank you.
I love that song, especially these days, you know?
Yeah. These are some
working
interesting
together
days. Yes. Yes. It seems like a lost art, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does, and
But here we are tonight, an example of how we can work together to support our
Yeah.
friends at the Couth Buzzard. So
because it's a remarkable place.
it
you
is a
know?
remarkable place.
I'm lucky enough to be married to a guy who is, he's not working for them anymore, but for his whole career he was a sales rep to independent bookstores working for big publishers.
Yeah.
And for the past several years, he was the only one on the West Coast that this publisher had,
Wow.
which tells you a lot about independent bookstores. And I don't get it. I mean, you can find anything you think you want online, but you can't find what you never knew you wanted.
Right.
You can't do that. You
It's
can't
hard.
browse the same way you can't hang out in a place, and you don't have the kind of community feeling that the Couth Buzzard does. And so
Right, because the Couth Buzzard not only has books and great coffee drinks and food and stuff like that, but it seems like every month there's like 50 different groups that meet there. I mean, every Thursday night has been game night there. They do a monthly jazz jam. They do writing workshops. You know, they do all kinds of different events every single week. So we got to get the Couth back up and running again, because that's just not just the musical community, but a huge swath of all of Seattle, especially the Greenwood neighborhood. You know, it's a regular place for them to go and to
Yeah.
hang out and to see other people and do the face-to-face thing. You remember the face-to-face thing, right?
what do you? Yeah, I think I do. I think I do.
Okay. How about another
Dimly.
song? How about another song there?
Okay.
All right.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
I feel like Lieutenant Uhura every time I do this.
I love it.
What can I say? Okay, this is a little departure from the high energy thing. This is a love story that I made up. And the French phrase in it, in case you don't understand me or you don't know French, means the love of my life is always with me. That's the idea. Oh, actually, this kind of came from, it came from an assignment from this wonderful songwriter retreat, that Lamb's Retreat for Songwriters in Michigan. And my assignment it was convoluted, but in the directions it mentioned some books that I really hated. And they were kind of put forward as very romantic books, like I'm sorry, everybody, but The Bridges of Madison County. No, I just hated that book. And it's all about the books. It's about the really, really good ones, though, not the sentimental crap. My 2 cents. Every day I make all the beds of the 49 rooms at the inn. If someone asks me, I've always said, this is where I've always been. My life I hold close, my past no one knows. L'amour de ma vie est toujours avec moi. My lover now, he thinks we two live alone, because I tell no one about you. Every day I make all the beds for the people who stay at the inn. Some pass through quickly and some stay for days. Some even know me by name. Some stop for small talk as strangers will, of love and of romance in books or in films. They take these mimicries in passion's place, but they might just as well compare these candles to comets, limericks to sonnets. L'amour de ma vie est toujours avec moi. Take these false shadows to where they belong. They say nothing at all about you. You were my secret when I was a girl, and I keep you secret again. Then in our town outside Montreal, now cleaning rooms at the inn. Your sorrows, your heat, your shameless delight. L'amour de ma vie est toujours avec moi. The earth holds the sun's warmth into the night, and so does my heart still hold you. So now with the linen I put on the beds of the 49 rooms at the inn. Sometimes your shadow will fall there instead, and I feel your breath on my skin. Let them all talk of their books or their films, mais l'amour de ma vie est toujours avec moi. They think I agree, and it's just as well I still tell no one about you. I tell no one about you.
I love that song. I love that one. Yeah.
I like that. I like that person. I made her up.
Yeah?
I made her up, and she was around long enough to tell me that story and then went away.
Cool. Well,
You know?
let's put out word. If you're out there, feel free to come back and tell another story.
Yes.
Obviously, there's some good stories there. So I'd like to do a song having to do with the pandemic. This is one of 3 songs that I have written during the last however many months it's been, year and some. And this was actually the second one. And it was inspired by a songwriting group that I'm involved with, featuring 3 amazing songwriters, Marjorie Richards, Nancy Reinhold, and Amy Reed. And we get together every couple of weeks or so and try to inspire each other and stuff. And sometimes we have ideas and things like that. And I've been the old curmudgeon of the group, in that I'm the one who always says, we don't need to do like assignments and exercises and stuff. You know, we're all old pros here. We need to just do the thing. But actually, they've been doing some exercise and some assignment type things, and every one of them that has been presented is something that has sparked something in me. So I think
I think I've successfully gotten over the curmudgeon bit about thinking I don't need something when actually it's quite obvious that I do. Now, Amy came up with the idea of writing a song about isolation. Now, this is early on in the pandemic when everything was fraught in a different kind of way because nobody knew anything about anything, and it seemed like the news we were getting was contradicting the news we were getting, and we weren't sure what was really going on. We just knew that we were all kind of freaked out, and we were being asked to stay inside and stuff like that, and it just felt very odd. And Amy thought it would be great to write something about isolation. So the angle I took on it, the slant I took, was the fact that for myself and Diane, my wife, we were kind of relishing the time to be together. Diane she was one of the lucky ones that was able to telework from home, continue her job from home. I was already retired, and so we were able to just be here and be with each other and have the same kind of long talks that we were having already, but more of them, and going into some new and odd and sometimes scary directions, but always doing it together. So my offering to the songwriting group was a song called Couples Hymn, which I would like to perform for you now, which has got all of the weirdness and some of the goodness in it as well, I hope. It goes like this.
Who are all these people in my head? One of them said, staring through half-open blinds. None of what's sacred's been spread over the dead, echoes in an unsettled mind. Isolation is a cavity, isolation with its gravity. I know I've seen about as much of me as anyone can take. That's how I know that you and I are no mistake. No mistake. We never knew that fear could feel like this. Equal parts bliss and lists of the recently gone. And what about that vinegar and piss we don't really miss with each irreplaceable dawn? Isolation is a cavity, isolation with its gravity. I know you've seen about as much of me as anyone can take. That's how I know that you and I are no mistake. No mistake. No mistake.
Thank you. How you
I
doing?
love that. I love that.
How you doing, Catherine? Are you comfy? Are you in
I
a
am.
comfy spot? Good.
I'm in a comfy spot.
I too am in a comfy spot.
I'm in
like
a
it.
comfy spot.
We're both in comfy spots.
You know, I've actually got my students talking to me in funny voices now.
Really?
There are times, because I teach a lot. I teach a lot of guitar stuff, and I've got a bunch of kids,
Yeah.
you know, a
Yeah.
bunch of kids that I'm working with, and sometimes they go into kid space and they get kind of shy, or they decide that they don't want to be there, or, you know, they'd rather be, a squirrel, something. They're like 10.
Right.
And it turns out that if you talk to them in a really funny cartoon voice, then they try to do it too. And then I can teach them something else sometimes.
That's cool.
It's,
That's
I got
cool. congratulations. I did not have patience when I was trying to be a music teacher. I did not have the patience. So I think there's an extra thing that you need for that I was not blessed with. I don't know. I mean, I haven't given up on it completely, but
Oh
the
no,
one
you
time I
shouldn't.
did try it. Yeah.
It's you know, a lot of guitar teachers don't get taught guitar pedagogy, right? We don't
Right.
necessarily study that. We just people ask us, or we want to, pay the bills in another way. So we end up sitting with people and not knowing how to tell them stuff.
Yeah. And you kind of
But-
figure it out as you go, huh?
Yeah, those poor students that first started with me.
Got it.
But
Got it.
that was decades ago, so
Yeah.
we hope it's better now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a love song. I wrote this in order to apologize, and I introduced this one time by saying anyone who has been married for a long time will know the state of mind that I was in when I wrote this song, and then I heard myself say I have been married for a long time to a lot of different people, but still the same principle does apply. So. Okay, here we go. You went walking, early winter, slow motion, easy talk. I said something without thinking, and your face closed like a box. You gotta know you hurt too easy. I could say I'm not that strong, or I was joking, I'm half crazy. It meant nothing, but it was wrong. I have been careless with you. I know you're not the first. I am an arrow, it's true, with a gift for words. And I try to watch my every move. Still I've been careless with you. You went walking, who could blame you? On the day I went too far, I sat wondering how I claimed to have a clue of who you are. But I have known you as you stumbled, as you slept, and as you worked. And the deeper goes the knowing, the deeper drives the hurt. I have been careless with you. I know you're not the first. I am an arrow, it's true, with a gift for words. And I try to watch my every move. Still I've been careless with you. I've been wandering for a lifetime, and I've been lucky, you bet. I've known several kinds of loving and haven't buckled yet. I have known the easy easy kindness, the slow touch, the open hand. But I never knew forgiveness till you came home again. I have been careless with you. I know you're not the first. I am an arrow, it's true, with a gift for words. And I try to watch my every move. Still I've been careless, careless with you.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Bill. I feel like we are actually sitting in the Couth, except that we can't play together,
Yeah.
you know?
It's
And
true.
we don't have the same cool ambiance of the Pulp Fiction sci-fi stuff right next to us. And
Right. It's always
and all
been,
that.
it always seems perfectly appropriate that the music happens in the sci-fi section.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's been good.
Of course, I am kind of a sci-fi geek anyway, so.
I have been known to
It's home.
partake of a bit of that myself over the years.
I
Yes.
always liked you, Bill. Great.
Well, I wanted to play a song that's kind of about personal journey of one kind or another. This is about moving up to the Methow Valley, which I did in 1996 and lived up there until 2009. And my kids grew up there, and one of them's back up there now. My son James is back up in the Methow now. But it was an adjustment. I remember talking to my mom about it, and she says, "Well, how do you get food up there? Do they have to airlift it in?" I was like, "Mom, they got like roads, they got supermarkets. It's it was a fully functional thing." She didn't really have the sense of just how remote it was. But then she came up and saw the place, and she really liked it too. So. But it was an adjustment. And I was trying to figure out how to describe it and how to claim a new kind of personal liberty up there away from what I had dedicated the previous 20 years of my life to, which was becoming, a rock star. Yeah, I know. It's okay. I'll give you a minute to stop laughing and then we'll get back to the... Okay, good. Yeah, I kind of had to give up my ideas about being a musician, and not about being a musician, about being a famous musician, about being able to make a living playing music. It just, it became clear to me that the things that I would need to do were not things that I enjoyed doing. So there you go. I liked the writing the songs thing. I liked standing in front of a group of people and playing my songs for them. But the business of it, I kept telling people I didn't get in the music business to be a businessman. I got in the music business so I could get away with playing music, So anyway, I was in the process of trying to claim a new kind of liberty for myself. I wrote this song called The Book of Edsel. Edsel came from the city, landed out here in the trees. He brought his digital baggage and his eccentricity. Got his tractor running on a bench up over the hill, and the sound of that heavy equipment brought a curse and a laugh and a chill. Send some love to your parents, estranged back over the humps. Then drive down into your talents, give it gas when you get to the bumps. Hoodoo peak in his left eye, Pipestone Canyon the right. He
realigned all of his systems, worked the day and slept the night. Picked up a shovel on Christmas, picked up a shovel in June, picked up his daddy's old arch top and bathed something new at the moon. Send some love to your parents, estranged back over the humps. Then drive down into your talents, give it gas when you get to the bumps. You'll get to the bumps. Edsel couldn't have been happier in his drafty old trailer estate. But he got real high last November and he broke through the ice at the lake. The city people gave him a service, the country folk danced all night. Some people made new plans that day and some folks got it right. They sent some love to their parents, estranged back over the humps. Then they drove down into their talents, gave it gas when they got to the bumps. And they got to the bumps. So send some love to your parents, estranged back over the humps. Then drive down into your talents, give it gas when you get to the bumps.
Something like that. Something like that, anyway.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Thanks. The Book
I
of
love
Edsel.
that.
The Book
The Book of Edsel.
of Edsel. Well, it's a bookstore. We're talking about a bookstore, the Book of Edsel. I don't know if it's featured at the Couth, but I'll have to write it, and then they'll feature it, perhaps.
Yeah, that is a really cool song.
Thank you very much.
I like that. I like that revelation you had of the things necessary to be in the music business are things that I don't really like doing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a harsh reality, and including being on the road for more than like 2 weeks. And this was before I even had children that I missed. I just missed being in this little space where I do my work. It just got to where I was no longer attending my performances. My head was somewhere else. So it was a hard thing to learn because I'd been telling myself for decades that this was what I was going to do. I was going to make my mark this way. So, oh well.
Yeah, many of us should have come to that same realization.
Some of us were more talented in those other ways than others is all. So there you go.
We won't go there. That's just not a path we want.
Okay.
Please. What was I going to do? I
don't
think
know.
first of all I was going to oops. Wait, where is it? It's right there.
Yes.
Am I doing this right? That's where the link is?
Yeah.
The link is no. Jeez.
Isn't that something? I can't figure it. There it is. There it is.
That's it.
That's it.
That link.
Right there.
That link to support the wonderful Couth Buzzard in Greenwood in Seattle, the most magnificent place.
Bingo.
So, happy to do this. I wrote this at a time when, well, it's self-explanatory, I suppose. Everybody knows life goes on when the love that filled your days and dreams is gone. Everybody knows. The time will come when you realize he's not the only one. The strongest of us now and then has to learn to breathe again as burns and bruises turn to memories. Everybody knows but me. Everybody says a heart grows strong as winter lilacs bloom again in April sun. Everybody says a heart grows strong in a slow, steady, silent time alone. This pain that holds you deaf and blind, that trips you up time after time, someday will lift again and let you free. Everybody says to me. But the seasons, they have come and gone. I've seen the summer leaves come down. The months are moments, who sees where they go? All things take time. Everybody knows that it will go. This sorrow clinging to my heels like a shadow. Everybody knows. But even so, no matter where I turn, it always seems to follow. And all their words, there's so much noise, I still can only hear one voice and pray that it will someday set me free. As everybody knows, everybody knows, everybody knows but me.
I have not heard that song enough. That's a great song. What vintage is that song? If I may be so bold as to
that
ask.
was before I moved back here. I
Yeah?
would say maybe 17 years ago or so.
Yeah.
It's on the Speak album.
All right.
It was a very good exorcism. Well, it didn't work, but it still was helpful.
Yeah.
You know.
Even an attempt, it shows that there was an intent, right?
Yeah.
At an exorcism,
Yeah. I think it was a valuable time. I mean, feeling like that is a very important thing. You
It
know,
is.
taking the time to kind of sit with it and making space for something good later.
There you go. Wow, maturity. What happened?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I don't know.
It's like suddenly it's there, and you're kind of like, wow, I got perspective on things. Oh well.
I know.
I feel lucky. I feel lucky to have been able to achieve a certain amount of perspective. You know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's for sure. Let's see, perspective. I want to write a song. I do want to write a song, actually, now that you mention it. But I want to sing a song that's kind of about writing. It's a song called Notebook. And it's a song I wrote kind of about writing in my notebook. And it goes like this. It's kind of, I think of this as kind of a chant, and I don't know why. But that's the way it comes out of me, as kind of chant-like. So See if that makes any sense to you.
A haven for the waiting, it's a short candle for the night blind. Something there on the other side, a blue horse on a banker's bride. It takes you when you're looking away, takes the place of a sunny day. A winter wind up the leg of your pants, a swirl of snow on the curbside dance. Language of the bone beneath the skin. A way of looking at the day you find you in. Question mark at the end of your arm, the way we all pretend to do no harm. A slice of cheese on the kitchen floor, bad news at the sliding glass door. Gravel slipping off a dump truck, the bumpy road of your love luck. A taste of somebody's goodnight kiss, you jerk the wheel and you just miss. Language of the bone beneath the skin. A way of looking at the day you find you in. Hey, Tax day at 11 p.m. Realizing it's us, not them. Something sinister you ate last week. The way you've settled into being a freak. It takes you when you're looking away, takes the place of a sunny day. A winter wind up the leg of your pants, a swirl of snow on the curbside dance. Language of the bone beneath the skin. A way of looking at the day you find you in. The bone beneath the skin. The day you find you in. Hey.
Thank you, audience of one. Well, I know that there's some people out there watching and that they're supporting the Couth, and I hope that Sarah is posting the hyperlink in the comments section so that people can go over and donate something to the GoFundMe thing. Because if we can just get the Couth just a little bit further down the road, then we'll all be able to go back there and enjoy ourselves. And Kat and I will play there again. You know, I was thinking earlier, I should put together like a slideshow of all the photos from the gigs that you and I have done at the Couth Buzzard. But then I thought, do I really want to take that on as part of my technical challenges for this first ever YouTube live stream that I'm going to be already kind of directing?
It seems like a little bit of a maxed out kind of a thing. We'll just have to do it again.
There it is. And what I can do is I can put together some scrapbooks and bring them IRL to the Couth Buzzard and pass them around, and people can look at the scrapbooks while you and I are actually playing for real people and for each other.
That's a really, really nice idea. I like that.
But I'll tell you,
support, you know.
Yeah, we do.
We got and we got some for the Couth from the East Coast. I think yesterday or so, and I posted this. The announcement on Facebook, and Claudia Schmidt said, "I love the Couth Buzzard."
Yes,
because she's played at the Couth.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, a lot of people have played at the Couth.
Yeah,
it's a place of legend, indeed.
And the link is there.
There you go. Well,
did I get it right?
No, it's moved a little bit. There it is. There it is. You got it. You got it. Just act like you're doing that number one thing. Number one. Ba-da-da-da. Number one.
I like to say, we're number two. We're number two. It strikes me as so funny. It's kind of like saying, I really wanted you to be the fourth to know. All right, I have a plug to make. Well, first I'll introduce this song. This is one that I got in a dream, and it was not, I mean, it was a wonderful, wonderful dream, and I heard Johnny Cash singing this song. Singing it, excuse me, singing it to a little boy who was maybe 4 or 5, just beyond, just toddler into the running and falling down a lot phase. And they were walking away from me through a crowd of people, and Johnny Cash was singing this song. And I thought it was an old folk song. In the dream it was. And I woke up and I thought, I love that old folk song. I wish I'd written, did I write that? Did I write that? So I feel like I need to thank Johnny Cash for giving me this. It's in my play that I wrote, a play about the Dust Bowl, the story of my dad. So at the very end of the show, there has to be a departure, there has to be a death, and this is about the passage of time. And the song came in a dream about a month or 2 before it was really needed for the show. The show being about the Dust Bowl, that's where I come to this plug. Put the drama where it belongs this summer on the stage. This is my plug. Vashon Repertory Theater. No kidding. It's an outdoor theater fest on Vashon, including, for example, The Tempest and some wonderful other things. And the show that got my dad started talking about the Dust Bowl to begin with many, many decades ago, I guess. Woody Guthrie's American Song. I get to be music director of the show. The cast is fantastic, wonderful singers. The band is unreal. I get to play with Orville Johnson and Mark Graham and the wonderful Steve Meyer playing upright bass. So check it out. It's on brown paper tickets. Woody Guthrie's American Song opens on the 22nd of July. So back to this. The song that I got from Johnny Cash. Monday morning you were born, Tuesday you were walking, Wednesday you had learned to talk and showed no signs of stopping. Thursday, Friday I looked up, you were off and running. Where you'll go from here, I guess there's just no way of knowing. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. Where you are, the spring has come and all the world is blooming, but summer brings the burning sun before you know it's coming. Here I stand at harvest time, soon it will be snowing. When winter trees hold blackbird leaves, it's then I must be going. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. strong, maybe you'll be lucky. I hope and pray your days are long and most of them are happy. And someday when you laugh or sing, or if you're sick or grieving, or when at last you're old like me, it's then you'll hear me singing. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening. Oh, the days hurry on, always moving on and on. I have loved you from the dawn and will through the evening.
Well, I know Diane is
Thank you,
weeping in
darling.
the other room, and other people probably too. I was singing with you. I was singing harmony. It probably wouldn't have worked if I'd unmuted myself. It probably would have been about 20 seconds too late. But
I think that's my least favorite thing about doing stuff online. There's many things that I love about doing these shows online or teaching online.
Yeah.
You know.
but not being able to sing as a group. Yeah, they got to
No.
they got to work that out in the software somehow or something.
You know, my friend John Wiseman
Yeah.
in Chicago, he has this song called "The Future's Not What It Used to Be,"
Mm-hmm.
and you know, brilliant, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I look at these screens on the computer, and I remember the Jetsons, and I remember Jane putting on her face in the morning, and I remember the jetpacks and the treadmill, for God's
Yeah.
sake.
Oh yeah.
Before that
And the
happened,
little
that part is
cars, and when the flying cars. Well,
Yeah.
I can't do the noise. But
no, no.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, one day.
One day. I remember the Dick Tracy two-way wrist TV, two-way wrist radio. Remember Dick Tracy? This
Oh,
is
yeah.
pre-Jetsons. He had the two-way wrist TV phone.
Yeah,
Yeah. Early
Yeah,
version of the iWatch, I guess.
I know exactly. But what I want is one of Maxwell Smart's shoe phones.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'd really like.
Yeah, but maybe
Shows you how old
but
we
maybe
are.
not a rotary. Maybe not a rotary dial. I never
No.
quite got the rotary part. You know what we need, Kat?
What?
Transporters.
Yeah.
That's the one. If we could have one futuristic thing, I would trade all the computer technology for transporters.
Yeah, I would too.
We could all get to exactly where we needed to go. No fossil fuel needed or anything like that. We could just go.
Oh, it'd be fabulous.
Get the coordinates
It'd be
right.
Fabulous. Hey, you are a sci-fi geek.
I am. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
that's wonderful. Thank
Well,
you.
I used
Thank
to.
you so much.
One of my favorite authors of all time is Philip K. Dick, and I used to
yeah.
be, as they say, I was a dickhead for probably 20 years there. I used to collect as many different of his books as I could. He's a little misogynistic, and he's not as much to my taste now as he was back in my 20s and 30s, but there for a while it was just like whew, all
Well,
that
me
stuff.
too. I
Yeah.
love him, and he was definitely a product of his times. You
Yeah,
know.
as
He
are
was
we
normal.
all. Right. All righty. What was I going to do? I was going to do a song. I had one in mind. Oh, yes. This is a song called How Long You Gonna Wait? It is the opening song on my most recent album, which is called Night Sky. And it's a song about how kind of the story of Diane and I getting together. Well, my end of the story of Diane and I getting together, which involved all kinds of, what is it? Bad self-image issues being worked out across about a year and a half's time and stuff like that. Suddenly, a bunch of things just showed up on my computer screen, and I don't know what they mean, but I'm not going to worry about it. So there's a period of a year and a half wherein I was crazy about Diane Schulstad and had not said anything about it yet. And suddenly, I mean, she and I, okay. Diane and I were friends back in the 80s. We were both involved with Victory Music down in Tacoma with Chris Lunn and all the folks and Cat Eggleston, people like that. We were involved in this thing, so we knew each other. We served on the Victory Music Board of Directors together. And then, but we were both with other people. And I moved off to the Methow Valley in 96. And in 2006, I got an email from Diane Schulstad inviting me to her 50th birthday party, which was going to be at the Antique Sandwich Company in Tacoma and was going to be like an open mic, one of the old school open mics that we used to do back in the 80s. And it was like all my favorite people were going to be there, including Cat Eggleston. And I was like, oh my gosh, how many people had to pass away before she got far enough down the list to where my name came up? I didn't care. I was going to be in Tacoma anyway because my sister's 50th birthday was the same week. So I was like, I went to this thing. And it was like seeing all my besties again. It was like a great Tuesday night at the Antique Sandwich Company. And there was Diane in the midst of all of it. And she was just luminous. By the time I left the building that night, I was fully crushing on Diane Schulstad. Went back to my double-wide trailer in Twisp with my two adolescent kids who I loved dearly. I was working in radio down in Chelan at the time. And I decided I would type Diane a letter on a typewriter. So I did that. I thought, this is the way to get her. Go old school, Bill. And, but I didn't say anything about having any feelings for her. I was just, just being friendly. Well, she wrote back to me, and we started this email messaging back and forth for a month and a half or so, just telling everything about each other. And I told her virtually everything about me except how I felt about her. Because here I was Twisp, I was 150 miles away, I had my two kids, and I had a life there and stuff, and was working in radio, and it was like, how was that supposed to work? So finally, after a month and a half or 2 months of communicating with Diane, I was running out of things to say besides how I felt about her, and how this great conversation that we'd been having back and forth was only making that bigger and more profound in my life. I decided I had to do something. So I did the noble thing, stopped writing to her altogether, just went dark. And yeah, that's the kind of quality thinking I was doing at that time. And so then a year and a half went by with no communication whatsoever. And I used to think about Diane now and then. And I was trying other relationships, and I don't know. And then one night, March 7th, 2008, I got an email that was timestamped 1:35 a.m. and it said the following. It said, "Dear Bill, I just awoke from a most delicious dream, and it was about you. Now I'm going back to sleep. Love, Diane." And the screen didn't freeze. I did. That was kind of, I was gobsmacked. I was like, and I was like, I was thrown back onto that old thing. How do I respond? How do I? So I didn't say anything. I said, I'm going to look at this again when I get home from work. If it's still there, then I'll think of something. So I went to work, came back, looked at it, was still there, still said the same thing. And I was like, I don't know. So I'm going to sleep on it. I'll sleep on it. So I went to bed and, figured it'd be gone in the morning. It would have been me. I would have woke up from a dream. Got up the next morning. It was still there. So I forwarded it to myself at work thinking maybe I'll be able to think of something at work. Go to work. And I realized I had to say something. So she had said, the word delicious was the one that jumped out at me. It was just like, I couldn't resist that word delicious. And so I think I wrote back to her. I said something very poetic like, delicious, huh? Good word. You've probably forgotten the dream by now. Bummer, Bill. I was a literature major, so I know how to write that kind of stuff, when the situation demands it. Anyway, turns out she had not forgotten the dream. She told me about the dream. She told me about this dream, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm fully cooked. I'm ready to serve. And I just spilled my guts. spilled my guts. And within 2 weeks, we were engaged to be married. Married. Having never even held hands before. It was a mortal lock, and that was in 2008. And it's gotten better ever since. Now, the song is about the year and a half where there was nothing, and the day and a half where I was like, and how everything could have been different if I hadn't gotten, if I hadn't just decided, So it's called How Long You Gonna Wait?
Waiting for the perfect moment, a time when she least expects it. You're gonna finally tell her how you really feel. How long you gonna wait for the right word? How long you gonna wait for the right time? Gonna starve while you're waiting on the harvest moon. How long you gonna wait? For the ride that might not come, waiting for the day you don't feel dumb, waiting in the rain is fine for some. How long you gonna wait? You're waiting till you think she's ready. You're waiting till the market's steady. You're waiting till the kids are out of school. You're waiting till you get a haircut. You're waiting till you lose that 10 pounds. You're waiting till you deal with all of your shit. How long you gonna wait? How long you gonna wait for the right word? How long you gonna wait for the right time? Gonna starve while you're waiting on the harvest moon. How long you gonna waiting for the ride that might not come? Waiting for the day you don't feel dumb. Waiting when the rain is fine for some. How long you gonna wait? How long you gonna wait? You're waiting for the next reunion, though they happen only once every 10 years. Still you never wanna feel that you spoke too soon. How long you gonna? You're waiting for the hip replacement, and when you're done with the physical therapy, and you can finally walk without that cane, how long you gonna wait? How long you gonna wait for the right word? How long you gonna wait for the right time? Gonna starve while you're waiting on the harvest moon. How long you gonna waiting for the ride that might not come? Waiting for the day you don't feel dumb. Waiting in the rain is fine for some. How long you gonna? You're waiting for the perfect moment, a time when she least expects it. You're gonna finally tell her how you really feel. How long you gonna wait? How long you gonna wait?
Woohoo!
Hold on a second. I can't get rid of all these little squares. Hang on. I just upgraded my operating system. There. Sorry about that.
These things happen.
They do.
I love that. I love that song.
Thank you
That
very
is
much.
really one of my favorites.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course,
Mine too.
Say that a lot, but it's true. But
Play me another one of my favorites there, Kat.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to read your mind, but first,
Yes. Oh,
there
yeah.
it is.
There it is.
The link.
You got it.
GoFundMe
Yes.
for the Couth Buzzard, wonderful bookstore in Seattle, and seriously, magical kind of place. So, what do I say about this? I think I wrote this several years ago, and I was thinking about. I think there were so many kind of corrupt scandals going on over the years. It's hard to remember which one was my inspiration for this, but I think it was Enron, because I was thinking about the nature of evil, sort of. I was thinking about what turns people into something they didn't know they would become. What turns you into something that somebody that would steal people's retirement and put old people out on the streets. There are any number of things. What brings you to that? And I think it's kind of a long, slow road in many cases. So that's where this came from. Okay. With your first white lie, then you just begun on the road to ruin. Who knows what you've become? Drop your burden way down on the track for some honest soul to take on his back. Don't you know it's a long way down? You sell out one friend, then comes two on the road to ruin. Who knows what you could do? You tell yourself every time you betray that you'll turn around and make it up someday. Don't you know it's a long way down? You make one deal, then you make three. The road to ruin, who knows who you could be? It's a busy life and it only gets worse when you can't put a face on the ones that you hurt. Don't you know it's a long way down? You make one deal, then you make four. The road to ruin, it always wants more. There's always someone who would do what you do. Maybe someone younger and hungrier too. You know it's a long way down. It goes on and on as if it never stops, but the end will come in the place where you finally drop. One vow and then you break them all. The road to ruin, it won't care where you fall. 'Cause when you break, then you break for good, with thousands running by the place where you stood. Oh, it's a long way down. It's a long, slow way down. It's a long way down.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. I guess I got into it. My Uhura buds, they fell out. So I lost touch with the world.
Oh no!
As happens.
Oh no!
As happens in these things.
Yeah, I get my ear sweats. I have ear sweat, and so the thing starts to slide. You can feel it starting to slip. I don't know.
Some things are just you can't plan for.
It's true. It's true. There are no contingencies. Well, I'm going to do something real simple. Real simple and very, what I would consider fundamental to my well-being. Yes. Yes. Which is one of the reasons that I live where I live, here in the Great Northwest, because you can't do without this stuff, okay? Sorry. That's better. Rain is a subject that's worthy of trust. It stands up to scrutiny, settles the dust. It soaks through your overcoat much as it must, but it never gets bruised from its falling. Rain is a subject we ought to research and learn to be thankful when we enter its church. Its fine architecture we mustn't besmirch, so that it won't get bruised from its falling. Rain is a subject that washes your dreams. It dampens your undies when it goes to extremes. If it comes in sideways, it can't hear your screams, so it never gets bruised from its falling. Rain is a subject that's hard to resist, with nicknames like cats and dogs, drizzle and mist, and a few obscene adjectives to add to the list, yet it never gets bruised from its falling. Rain is a subject we must learn to love, since much of our sustenance falls from above. It's 80% of us, finger in glove, so let it never get bruised from its falling.
Yay!
A nice little tune. A nice little damp tune. Damp.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Well,
It's wonderful.
it's important.
I have a student who's afraid of rain.
Oh boy.
He's
Goodness.
afraid of the rain. He lives here, but he has autism,
Uh-huh.
and he's it's hard to know exactly why it freaks him out, but it freaks him out. And so,
boy.
you know, I keep wanting to teach him maybe something like I can't stand the rain.
Oh, yeah, outside my window.
Yeah,
Bring
but,
it back.
yeah, but maybe I should teach him the one that one.
Yeah.
But I think that would.
Well,
be
that one might be easier to play than the Little Feat tune. Yeah.
No, anything is easier to play than something that Lowell George was doing.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So I live in a small community, and therefore, there's a sort of a microcosm of the grocery store. It's a thing. So I have this joke that I tell people when I run into them in the Thriftway. We get talking about our lives and so on and so forth, and we haven't seen each other in a long time, and I'll say, I got to go. I've got a meeting on aisle 4 in 10 minutes. And everybody laughs because they think, it's entirely possible. Seriously. And one day I was talking to a friend and I said, you know what? I think somebody just got engaged by the salad bar. And she said, really? I said, no. But you believed it, right? Because it's possible. I've never played it in this tuning, but I just felt like playing this song. It sort of introduces you to my hometown in its own way. And I'm also going to call your attention to this. Where is it? The GoFundMe for the Couth Buzzard, one of our favorite places in Seattle to play, to hang out. Just a wonderful, wonderful place. Okay, this is called I'm Happy to See You. I'm happy to see you today. It's gotta be more than a year. But I never shop on the weekends, I guess, and everyone seems to be here. There's gotta be some kind of law. I see everybody I know, all in one place, but only on days when I look like I slept in my clothes. Tra-la-la-la, oh, it just doesn't matter. When we were in college, I'm sure I was fatter, and I'm pretty sure everybody remembers small towns are always that way. But I'm happy to see you today. There's nothing I need in aisle 5. I'm sorry I look so annoyed, but it's not about you. It's a guy in aisle 2 I kinda just want to avoid. I think someone just got engaged by the salad bar in aisle 1. And off to your left there's a sale on peaches and some kind of church going on. There's so much happening, it really is all a blur. Some conference call between several customers. None of them know that they're all in the same store. Is that a flash mob of mimes down in aisle 4? Someone is holding auditions for Oliver. Is at the next school play. Well, I'm happy to see you today. I'm sorry. How have you been? Forgive my silence, but I didn't know. Is there anything I can do? I'm sorry that you've been so ill, and so glad that you'll be okay. Everyone knows we're on limited time, but still somehow it can feel like a crime when someone we love that we thought was just fine is suddenly taken away. But I'm happy to see you tomorrow for dinner at 6. Among all the dumb things we can't seem to fix, at least we can get together to sit and find the time to say I'm happy to see you today.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That's a really good song. That's a really good song. Hey, do you know what? It's 8:24 already.
I noticed that.
Haven't we-
that. It doesn't seem possible, but
Haven't we each done about like 3 songs or something like that? It seems like.
it always feels that way right around this time. I say we each play another, or
Well, let's each do one more. We can start and end
Well-
with you. That's more than fine with me.
that doesn't seem right. That
Well-
would leave you without.
That would leave me one song short. Oh no. Is there no justice? I think it would be just fine if we got an extra cat song out of the deal. Who agrees with me? Come on. Huh? Yeah.
I love you too, Bill.
Yeah. So you live
Pleasure.
on an island on Puget Sound. I'm gonna sing a song about Puget Sound. This was the first song I wrote after the isolation times began. In fact, I should say that the last in real life musical performance I did was at the C&P Coffee Company on March 5th of 2020, and it featured one Cat Eggleston. We were doing this very thing, trading songs back and forth. And it was a great night. And I had a bunch of friends there, including my old friend Scott Higgins and his wife Rhonda. They were up from Salmon Beach in Tacoma, where they live. And they came to the show. And Scott and I were talking during the break, and he took out his phone and he was showing me these pictures of this carving that he was making for his daughter Amber, who had announced that she was pregnant with Scott and Rhonda's first grandchild. And Scott was carving her, he'd found this First Nations design and was carving a backboard for the baby, for his daughter Amber, as kind of a gift for his new grandchild, who just celebrated her first birthday, by the way, a couple of weeks ago. Ralphie is her name. Beautiful little kid, although I've never seen her in real life. I've seen some pictures. Ralphie has watched some of the live streams that I've been doing, so yeah, I'm hoping that they, well, anyway, I hope there's no permanent damage done. But when the isolation time started, I had those pictures in my mind that Scott had showed me, and it kind of inspired this song. So let me clear this thing off of my computer screen. There we go. This is called Life on the Sound. Scott carved a shield for his daughter, First Nations designs he had seen. Out of cedar he pulled from the water, and the carvers he met in his dreams. Now she carries his grandchild inside her as they take the path down to the bay, skipping the stones on the still morning mirror, with everything and nothing to say. Life on the Sound is a long recitation, a fog on the shoreline and rain in rotation. It's a dewy-eyed lover, it's a new generation, and exactly where you need to be. Alma drove home for the summer from a secret that she'd left behind. There was high drama out on the desert, and the rivers unsettled her mind. What she needs is the peace and the stillness, the slow breath of tides on the beach, the smell of her mother's warm blankets, and all she requires within reach. Life on the Sound is a long recitation, a fog on the shoreline and rain in rotation. It's a dewy-eyed lover, it's a good explanation of exactly where you need to be. Barney was a gooey duck miner. He could fill 7 buckets a day, and his chowder was the talk of the island back before all the fish moved away. Now he sits on his rock in the twilight, and he smiles as the memories float by. Now the mainland has swallowed the sunset,
making way for this flickering sky. Life on the Sound is a long recitation, the fog on the shoreline, it rain and rotation. It's a dewy-eyed lover, it's a standing ovation, and exactly where you need to be. Life on the Sound is a long recitation, a fog on the shoreline and rain and rotation. It's a dewy-eyed lover, it's a standing ovation, and exactly where you need to be.
There you go.
This is just wonderful, Bill. You're right. That was the last live show I did too. It was with you.
That's right.
You know. What?
The C&P Coffee Company over in West Seattle. Another place I hope to be playing again sometime soon. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I see you there and at the Couth Buzzard.
Well, I hope to see you at Woody Guthrie's American Song. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I want to see
One
you
of our-
next.
One of our favorite shows, our mutual favorite shows, Slings and Arrows,
Oh, yeah.
says drama, because it's filmed in Canada,
Right.
is that willing suspension of disbelief for the moment which constitutes poetic faith. And Woody Guthrie's American Song is my favorite show on the planet, possibly even including my own. Because without that show, my show would never have happened. Dad would never have started talking.
It's true, but it would be hard for me to pick between those two. Sorry, I'm not going to do it.
Well, thanks.
I'm not going
Thank
to do
you.
it. Yeah.
I love the show. We got a great cast. This seems like the appropriate one to end on. This is something I wrote a long time ago as a letter. Thanks, Bill. And thanks to the Couth Buzzard. My finger picks are slipping. Let's give that a moment there. Would you go if you could? Back over years long past to a house that stood by gray water on green grass, and the age you are, your folks were then. The kitchen table was level with your chin. If someone gave you the power, would you go home? Would you find, if you could? Would you take, if you could, a single hour or day from the hard to the good? And what do you think you'd say? The bedtime book, the birthday cake, your mother's gift or your dad's mistake. If someone gave you the power, would you go home? Would you find, if you could, who might have dropped the ball? Was it blows or words? And who let the first one fall? If you had the chance to get revenge, would you take the sword or make amends if someone gave you the power. If someone gave you the power, would you go home? Home. Home.
Yay! 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 This has been fun.
It's been so much fun. Bill, thank you
Yes.
for doing this.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you, Couth.
Thank you, Couth Buzzard. Nope. Right up
Love
in
you.
there. Up there in the corner,
should
right
think-
above Cat's head.
It's right here.
Yeah. There it is.
Right here.
That's it. And keep it going. This GoFundMe page will be open hopefully until they reach the goal that they have set for it. And if there was any place that I know of in the greater Seattle area that is worth supporting for what they have done, not only for me, but for countless musicians that I know, as well as authors and just people in the neighborhood who love having a place to hang out and to meet other people. There aren't that many places like this anymore, and I'm not sure why that is. But the Couth Buzzard is keeping a flame alive that needs to spread. They spread.
Yeah.
That's part of culture that has kind of been slipping a little bit, that needs to be kind of brought back into.
It needs to be intentional, you know.
Yeah.
It needs to be grassroots because, frankly, Amazon has taken over a lot of things, and it kind of makes everything so easy to just stay at home and order online and have it delivered to your house. But
Yeah.
you might find some treasure you didn't know existed, or have a conversation you didn't expect.
Exactly.
Like this.
Exactly. Remember what it feels like to browse kind of mindlessly and kind of go, Larry Niven. Robert Heinlein. Where have I heard that name? Yeah.
Larry Niven. I love Larry Niven.
Yeah. There you go.
Fabulous. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Theo, and everybody at the Couth Buzzard for everything that you do. And here's hoping that that we won't need to do one of these things again, but that we will see you the next time we see you. We'll be live and in person at the Couth Buzzard, one of our favorite places to hang out.
For sure.
Thank you again, Catherine.
Thank you, William.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.